The Booth Western Art Museum, premier Western art museum in the country as far as I'm concerned, done so much more to promote and elevate contemporary Western artists than all the other Western artist museums who don't focus on contemporary Western art like the Booth does. So they've done a tremendous amount for us. I can't say enough about them. But to have a retrospective show, which is an accumulation of your life's work in one exhibit, it's kind of fun in here to come out and see all of this stuff. There's one I did when I was 16 years old over there. Yeah, pretty bad. But then I was 16, I was already doing frontier Americana work at that point. So my interest in history goes back to my childhood, you know, all the way back. And so that's what's developed here, you know, in all of this. And there's a landscape over here that I did, because I did landscapes early on. So I've been painting for 65 years now.
Wow.
64 years, since I got out of art school in 61. So I've been painting that, and my interest in history was established then, and I even got drawings, of Civil War drawings I did in high school and so on. So my life's history has been based in history, you know. The interesting thing about being a historical painter, there's one of my landscapes over there, okay. You can paint landscapes anywhere and anyhow. You go out, set them, do them on set, or watch them, bloom, photograph, whatever. History you got to study. If you're going to be realistic with history, you've got to study, and I've studied all my life, you know, from childhood on. And I'll say this, I made my mistakes through the years, because what I think's set in stone today, tomorrow I'll learn something new. And so as you see an evolution here, if I could go back today and say, oh, that painting I did in the 70s, I would change that a little bit. I would, if I could, and I won't, obviously, but still, the point being, historical painters who do it, I want to say accurately, that's not probably the right word. The main thing is do a good painting, but if you're going to do historical paintings, they ought to be accurate.
Yeah.
And so you study, you study, and you study, and I've tried to do that through all my years. So what you see evolving in here, for the most part, are pretty historically accurate. Like I say, there's always something that you'd say I'd change beforehand, because no matter how hard you study, something's going to pop up that may add to that or even change that, you know, and I found that out firsthand.
All right.